Treasure Cruise is back, everybody, and with the Phoenix, it is going to be a mighty pair. Let's go ahead and make this fast. But Treasure Cruise with Phoenix is an absolute slam dunk. Ladies and gentle mages, civilians across the multiverse, welcome back to another episode with Man, and today we've got a juicer for you. Before we get into the video, make sure to drop a like. The button looks just like this, helps out the channel tremendously. Let's get into the deck. We got the Treasure Phoenix, that's right. Treasure Cruise is back. I'm hopping back into not Explorer, but Historic. Treasure Cruise, this card is absolutely wild. So if you notice, I mean, obviously we do have like the Ox of Agonas. We do want to make use of our graveyard, and we kind of absorb cards with the delve. And so if you notice, I'm not running 4, but I think 2 is the sweet spot because we are going to be dumping a lot of stuff into our graveyard with the Otherworldly Gaze, Faithless Looting, Consider, Ledger Shredder. We got the whole squad here. Expressive Iteration is legal in Historic. Absolutely broken card, and that's why we're running it. So the Treasure Cruise is back. Ancestral Recall 1. I mean, what else is there? You pay 1 and then you draw the 3 cards. Absolutely wonderful. Arclight Phoenix, this deck, as this kind of combo has been around for like the beginning of time. What I've noticed is I kind of want to wait for the combo a little bit later to go for like lethal. Until then, we do have the Dragon Rage's Channeler. This card is absolutely insane. Every time you cast a non-creature spell, you're going to surveil 1, and eventually you're going to be able to have a 3/1 flyer with surveil 1, all for the price of 1. This creature is absolutely broken, and again, that's why we're running it. Unholy Heat, this thing is unholy as ever, dealing 4 damage to your graveyard. This thing is such an easy thing to fulfill. The Delirium, again, with the Treasure Cruise, I know you're going to say, like, kind of like, doesn't go well together, but it kind of does. I'm telling you, it's not that big of a problem. Usually when you have the Treasure Cruise, you're not going to be able to, like, you're not removing your Arclight Phoenixes, you're not removing anything else like that. It's usually not that big of a deal. So whenever you go for the Arclight Phoenix, you are going to be able to swing in for lethal, the Expressive Iteration, and the Ledger Shredder. This card from New Capenna, I think this is like this thing is standing the test of time. We do, and it is kind of flavor wise. We have a Phoenix and a bird, and it works out very, very well. But this is pretty much the deck here. We're gonna just reintroduce Treasure Cruise back into Arena, and I am here for it. Make sure to subscribe if you have not already, and without further ado, let's get ready to vanquish some enemies. Spiggy, how we doing here? Okay, as long as we have the Dragon's Rage Channeler, I found is pretty much like the most effective one drop ever. So let's go ahead and give Spiggy the friendly mulligan. Hello, everybody needs a friend when you take a mulligan because those things suck. All right, so let's see what we're playing against here. Like I said, against the Dragon's Rage Channeler, if you get this thing on turn 1, I mean, what else could you want? It always is a little nerve-wracking, so I want to go for the Izzet instead of the Mountain, just in case there are some times where you do want to go double blue, like a Consider and an Otherworldly Gaze or something like that, but this is not one of those times, thankfully. Horrible Hole's going to get rid of our Channeler. Not a big deal. Definitely not a big deal. See, there we go. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So we don't have anything to Unholy Heat, but we I theoretically would like to go for double Otherworldly Gaze. Can't do that right now, so it is what it is. We're just going to have to pass this turn. So in that case, would it be better for the Izzet? You know, most of the time you don't really know, but there are, you know, it is what it is. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Gold Forge Thoptrix. Okay, that is not that big of a deal. Unfortunately, the Unholy Heat can't hit it, so let's go for the Otherworldly Gaze and... Oh, okay, so we actually get really, really lucky. The Gaze is an instant. We gotta land a creep. That does not happen a lot, but one Gaze allows us to go for Unholy Heat, and that was just lucky. So we curve out perfectly there. We get a little bit lucky. Sounds good to me. Wow, okay. And an Expressive Iteration. This is like, okay, this is looking good. Let's go ahead and crack this bad boy open. And I think we would want the Finale of Promise for our hand. Arclight Phoenix can go away, and then we can go ahead and drop our little vents, paying the 2 life, and things are looking pretty good here. So going against what I would assume is just going to be like the you know, artifacts. Esper Sentinel. So if we're going to cast the non-creature spell, the Gaze, we have to do it kind of now. I actually don't think I want to cast the Gaze though, because I want to be able to use the Arclight Phoenix. Maybe that is a mistake. I don't think it is. I guess time will tell. Alright, we don't have a Phoenix in our graveyard yet, so maybe I should have used the Gaze. Don't think I'm really losing that much sleep about it yet, though. If we go for Finale of Promise... how do we want to map this out? We got the Otherworldly Gaze. We could go for another Expressive Iteration, but we did kind of tap out that way, so I think we're going to try. I'm going to give you a card. Maybe this is a little not great here, but I do kind of want to dig for some stuff here. So let's go for Unholy Heat. I don't really want to go for Fading Hope. I want to just kind of get rid of this thing We get all land anyway, so I guess we are ramping up into land, which is completely fine with me. Alright, that was a little clunky of a gameplay. I mean, again, this is my first ever game with this. I think it's going to be hard to pilot. This is one of those decks that is pretty difficult to pilot, but no excuses. We're going to find a way. Let's go for the Ledger Shredder. Pay the life here. So if I go for Connive, we can definitely get the Arclight Phoenix out here. So if I go for Otherworldly Gaze, I think this is a little bit more mana efficient to do the one that needs to from the graveyard. But if I do this, so depending on what we Connive, we definitely want to get rid of the Arclight Phoenix. Now typically, Unholy Heat would be the only thing that I'm kind of like considering. But I don't know, the Dragon Rage Channeler also just kind of make it go as well. I definitely don't want to keep the Consider, so I guess we'll just ditch it all away, whatever. I said it would have mattered what we Connive, but I definitely want to get the Arclight Phoenix out. If we go for the Ox, here, I always have to move kind of quickly about this too. So as long as we get rid of everything except for the Arclight, and it does seem, you know, with the Treasure Cruise and the Ox of Agonas, that it does kind of conflict a little bit here. But I want to get my Arclight Phoenix out into the graveyard as well. So we don't get the Arclight Phoenix, but we kind of, like I said, I don't know. Hard to kind of commentate here. We could have just like gone for the Arclight Phoenix, but I think just getting the Ox out and getting a fresh new hand and having that Ledger Shredder set up is a little bit good. Let's go ahead and get rid of the land. I think we've got plenty of land at this point, and now we're going to be able to do our shenanigans here. All right, so another Ledger Shredder. So now we have a lot of pressure that we can put on them. Should I have gone for the Arclight Phoenix last turn? I don't know. I think probably not. We do get the Surveil off and Faithless Looting, so there's a lot of things we can do here. I didn't want to go for the Ledger Shredder. We're going to have plenty of firepower to put on. Ooh, Expressive Iteration is pretty good. I guess we already committed to not doing the Ledger Shredder, and if they are playing creatures, I don't mind holding up the Fading Hopes, but I think we'll kind of hedge our bets here. So more Ledger Shredder action. I definitely like the Treasure Cruise. The Treasure Cruise is pretty good. So let's go ahead and get rid of you. Sounds good. Good enough, at least. Definitely have to get the Arclight Phoenix. Now we have two. Now there's a lot more incentive to go for this, but I think we're just going to hold off. Why am I holding off? I just don't feel like... I'm a little scared. I don't know what else they have. I don't really want to get my Arclight Phoenixes removed. So if they're going to take this, which I presume they would have, I don't want them to go to like Portable Hold or some sort of exile effect or something like that. Plus we can hold up Otherworldly Gaze, and we still have a Fading Hope, so we're not like... So there's a pair of Portable Hold. Only hurts the Shredder. They can't hit the big things with it. Yeah, we could like Fading Hope our own creature. It is tempting though. It is tempting because I don't really want to hit their little Fault Monitor because that gives them more card draw. But I want to use the Arclight Phoenix as more as like a de facto finisher to really put them on ice. You can definitely tell. I say I'm only 50% confident in all of my actions here, so you can tell I'm a little bit definitely brand new to Historic. Definitely. Oh, so this is actually good. This will create Living Weapon. I know this card. This creates like a little Germ token. They are tapped out, so we'll be able to Fading Hope that thing. That's actually no problem. Ornithopter. Okay. Sounds good. Yep. Let's just go for Fading Hope, and then we're gonna go for Otherworldly Gaze. So again, we do maintain mana efficiency that way. So let's go ahead and get rid of you. I guess we'll get rid of the Consider. We're gonna be able to Treasure Cruise, especially after we get all this stuff down with the Otherworldly Gaze. I do like Unholy Heat though. I do like Unholy Heat, so I think we're actually gonna keep the Heat on top. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Yep, and then we load up our graveyard pretty good, and like I said, this is where the Treasure Cruise comes back. So Unholy Heat, I guess we'll just kind of pick off a Thought Monitor. I know that they do have like this equipment stuff, but I just want to be able to get the Arclight Phoenix because now we're at the point where we put the pressure on them because they're going to have to block and they might not even have anything to kind of equip with. So there's another Arclight Phoenix, and now we're in it. Now we're going to go all in on the Arclight Phoenix stuff. I guess I definitely want to keep the Phoenix back. We did not hit our land drop yet, so let's go ahead and do this. And let's go for the Treasure Cruise. Treasure Cruise is back, everybody. And with the Phoenix, it is going to be a mighty pair. Let's go ahead and make this fast. But Treasure Cruise with Phoenix is an absolute slam dunk. I mean, let's go and get rid of this. I want to keep the Fading Hopes and the Unholy Heat, presumably. Just because if we have Finale of Promise, we have to keep that in mind. So as pay one Ancestral Recall feels pretty good, and another Consider, but I think we're pretty much good to go here. I think we can kind of keep the Consider up. Ah, screw it. Let's just do it. A Faithful Looting. I guess we'll keep that. I know we could just put that into the graveyard. Okay, we got enough mana so that we can go for Faithful Looting twice, and the Arclight Phoenixes are here. And at this point, you know, I don't think this is that dangerous, because if they want to block, I know they have this thing, they can equip their Thought Monitors, but they have to block here because we are threatening with lethal. So we at least are systematically like getting them down. So down to 1, I know the Shadow Sphere gives them lifelink, but they can't, gosh, I don't know. I don't think they can go for lethal here. Yeah, so it's a 7-7. I knew it would be like just mental math. It was like a anywhere from a 6-6 to an 8-8 after they're all said and done. Okay, so another Thought Monitor does not hurt that much. Again, I don't think that they're going to be able to go for lethal. No, they're tapped out, and this thing has lifelink. But I actually am a little surprised they didn't attack. Actually, I'm not really. That actually is not really a good position for them. I guess they don't really want to attack. Okay, so I'm going to go for Faithless Looting. As long as we have one last thing, and there we go. We got a Treasure Cruise, but we actually get the Otawara, Soaring City, and they are completely tapped out. And the Soaring City, as long as we just bounce the Thought Monitor, we're good. Yeah, no more lifelink. They're tapped out completely, unless I'm just something in Historic that I'm missing, which I don't think, just because Historic is such a new format. We can actually go for Treasure Cruise again as well, and we just take it. Cool. Mega Aaron? Is that Mega Sauron? Okay, well, either way, how's it going? Yeah, turn 1 Dragon's Rage Channeler. You know, you can't really go too wrong with that. So, ooh, a Faithless Looting as well. Let's just go ahead and drop the Rage Channeler. Getting a Surveil off every single time is really, really nice. I'm going to go ahead and flip through the Cursebound Witch. Whenever this thing dies, you do get to kind of craft some stuff. Nothing really too mind-blowing, but it is value nonetheless. Let's drop our island here. I kind of want to save the Fading Hope for the Squirrel. They're going to pump a lot of things into the Squirrel, but I guess we'll go for Faithful Looting. Faithless Looting. I can never get that right. So let's get rid of our other Faithless Looting. And I think it is just kind of proper to go for the Otherworldly Gaze. Yeah, you can always just kind of dump some more stuff off into your graveyard that way. I think that's pretty good. And definitely want to set up for our Treasure Cruise this way. With the Dragon's Rage Channeler, if we do get the 4 different types, we could go for like the Ledger Shredder. And I don't think it's really that necessary though. So we have the Sorcery, we have the Instant. We could have dumped off a land and a creature, but I kind of want to keep the Ledger Shredder. And definitely don't want to get rid of my land, so I'm not too bummed out about that. So Esper Sentinel, let's go for the Consider now, just because I don't want them to draw an extra card for free. That Esper Sentinel is so freaking good, man. So I guess we could put, I mean, we have a land in there. I guess we'll get rid of the land, just so that we can get 1 extra bump on the Dragon's Rage Channeler. And then potentially we could go for a creature. If we get like an Arclight Phoenix, we can complete the cycle with the Dragon's Rage Channeler. Oh, there we go. Wow, there we go. That's actually perfect. You ask and you shall receive. All right, so if I go for Ledger Shredder, so sorcery, instant, creature. So if I go for Ledger Shredder and then cast like a something else, but maybe if I go for Ledger Shredder and go for Fading Hope, they still get to draw that way anyway. So let's actually go for Faithless Looting. I keep wanting to call it Faithful. It's old Faithful in this deck, but it's Faithless. Maybe I should have just went for Ledger Shredder. I definitely want to get the Arclights into the graveyard, but now we have another Ledger Shredder as well. So we're definitely going to be able to do that. Do I want to get this land? I think we are actually okay with 4 land, especially with our card draw. We can kind of make do with that. I want to keep my Ledger Shredders. Maybe I should have committed the Ledger Shredder. Now that I'm looking back, hindsight, maybe I should have gone for Ledger Shredder Fading Hope. The reason I didn't do that was a little gun shy because they still get to draw with the Sentinel, but hindsight, I think maybe we should have done that. I think getting down the creatures is going to be how we win. Definitely still pretty green, even though we're not playing green. We're not playing green, but I am pretty green to the format still. That's okay, though. We are going to learn. We're going to learn today. So, again, this with the Squirrel, again, I also didn't really want to go for Fading Hope with the Squirrel. So maybe it was. Maybe I'm just too critical of myself. Because the Fading Hope I want to kind of keep for the Squirrel for when this thing gets huge. And then we can... Let's let them invest into the Squirrel. So, I think we probably made an okay play there. So they do get this little Cursebound. That's actually really cute. Abiding Grace, they get the Cursebound Witch every single time they like sacrifice it. So they're going to get a lot of value throughout this thing. I'm going to go ahead and pay the 2 life here and go for, man, double Ledger Shredder sounds pretty good. Okie dokie. Ooh, got me mid drink of water. I'm going to go ahead and edit that. But we got the Ledger Shredder out, double Ledger Shredder, and let's see here. Oh, the Unholy Heat. So I kind of like the Unholy Heat. I think we'll just get rid of the Consider. Don't really have, the Considers are nice for when you have like the Phoenix and stuff like that, but as of right now, not really that great. I'm going to move my mic over. There we go. Kind of see like the green screen a little bit. There we go. Alright, so look at the Treasure Cruise. We're doing damage with the Dragon's Rage Channeler. Things are looking pretty good. So, as soon as they want to start doing a bunch of stuff, we do have the Ledger Shredder, which is going to presumably punish them. Big fan of the Ledger Shredder. So Deadly Dispute, and they get the Cursebound Witch action going on. So, I think next turn we are going to hit them with the Fading Hope on the Squirrel. I think they've invested enough to where it would be a little bit, well, let's do that. So Deadly Dispute, every time, what was the saying? Even a blind squirrel finds an acorn or something? I don't think this one's pretty blind. This one's got eyes. I don't know. This thing's, and it's got its eyes set on our life, and that is a little scary because I mean, if they do have some instance, a lot of Deadly Disputes, they can just kind of get really big here. I also like the Ledger Shredder. At this point, I like the double Ledger Shredder because it didn't give the Esper Sentinel a draw. But at this point, they have so much resources. I don't even know if that really matters. Like, I mean, we're not really trying to go toe for toe value-wise with them. Okay, so Rite of Oblivion. They're going to go with the Ravenous Squirrel. It makes sense. They just get rid of a little Ledger Shredder. I don't think it's that big of a deal. And now if they want to cast something else, we do get a Connive ability. Okay, and another Abiding Grace, which kind of sucks for us, but we do get a little bit more of a Connive, so it's not that bad. And I think they only have one creature that can really snag back with this. Yeah, we're definitely taking this, absolutely. Go down to 10, not the end of the world, though. So the gain 1 life's a little bit underwhelming, but they do have, what, just this little Cursebound Witch. I don't think they have anything else. So the 1 life there, not too great. So now let's take a mental gander at what we want to do. I think we're going to go Fading Hope. Yeah, and the Sentinel, I mean, we do have the Unholy Heat, and we have a 1 mana costed Treasure Cruise if we want it. 10 cards in the graveyard, only an Arclight Phoenix, so we could just go for Treasure Cruise for 1. They already have a lot of cards in their hand, though, so we kind of have to make a decision. I think I am going to pay it, though. Let's go and get rid of the Ox. That is kind of a nice card to have, and we don't have to get rid of everything. So Dragon Rage Channeler, I think we're going to keep that, even though it doesn't... We're going to have to Surveil again, yeah. Let's go for Unholy Heat, kill the Sentinel. They would have got the card draw either way, or at least the ability. We did pay it. Alright. Get rid of you. Yeah, whatever, fine. And let's go for the Treasure Cruise. Yeah, let's go for the Treasure Cruise. I absolutely love this card. This card is everything it's hyped up to be. So, yeah, this is I mean, I'm going to try and make this really, really fast. I already kind of know. We just don't want to get rid of the Arclight Phoenix, obviously. We don't want to get rid of the Sorcery Instance. There's so many moving parts here because we have the Finale of Promise that we could potentially play later. The Phoenixes is pretty obvious. And then I'll get rid of one of the Gazes. Dragon Rage Channeler. We'll go to... Iteration is actually pretty decent. I guess we'll just get rid of it. Screw it. There's our Finale of Promise, and now we're looking good. We did not even drop our land for the turn, so we do have the Fading Hope as well, and we get our lovely Arclight Phoenix back. Looking pretty good here. Okay, not lethal, but I mean, it's pretty much a lethal combination if you ask me. Alright, so we get the Fading Hope, Unholy Heat. Let's see if they can kind of break up this board here. Ooh, they actually shocked themselves in. So, if they don't exile my Arclight Phoenix, we do have haste in that regard. Village Rites. This is okay. This tells me that they're searching for an answer. So, like, even their little Abiding Grace is not going to save them here. They can't go for the Mana Confluence either. So, Shambling Gas. We get the Connive. Let's take another search here. Iterate. I want to keep the Promise. I want to keep the Unholy Heat. I want to keep the Fading Hope. So, yeah, the Iteration can go away. I think we're looking pretty good here, though, because worst case scenario, we could Fading Hope our own Arclight Phoenix and then just haste it in, and that'll just be it. Yeah, I think we can just let that go. Yep, that's fine. That's fine. As long as my Arclight Phoenix is safe, I think we're good. If they have just one more form of spot removal, I think they would do this next turn, because they just give us a good game, and that is probably going to take it. That works for me. Good game. Kavino, how you doing here? Let's go ahead and keep this. Looks pretty good to me. Sure. Let's go for the Consider. Got the Treasure Cruise. This is a little bit of a slower hand. We don't have any of our cheap stuff, so I am just gonna kind of go after a land if I can. No land, that's okay, especially with the Otherworldly Gaze. So here's what we're going to do. Absolutely no worries. Let's go for the Ledger Shredder. I'm going to put a stop at my upkeep so that I can go for the Otherworldly Gaze, and then we'll be able to find a land, because the Otherworldly Gaze, even though it is card disadvantage, yeah, let's just go for this. Yep, and, ooh, no land to be seen. Ooh, okay, well, that's a problem. So we go 3 deep into our deck, no land, but we still get the draw. Fingers crossed, and we get another Ledger Shredder. Oh my god, so we're going to miss a land drop here. Definitely not going to be blocking this Death Touch Lifelinker, so I guess we'll just do the damage. Okay, that is pretty rough, but we can recover here. Now, I am a little bit, do I want to go for that same trick here? I don't think I do, because the worst case scenario, we can just Otherworldly Gaze again. We do get the land, thankfully, but we should have. We kind of deserve that. We dug deeper into our deck than a lot, so got to make a decision. I think just going for a double Ledger Shredder is just going to be kind of the move here. We could go for man, I don't know. Actually, I don't know. We do have Treasure Cruise and the Otherworldly Gaze. We're not really removing anything too crazy from our graveyard. I think we're going to probably do this. We don't even have to get rid of the Otherworldly Gaze. Yes, we do tap out. I think that's fine. And again, I was going to say, like, maybe we could leave one open, get rid of the Gaze to leave open a Consider or something, but we don't even drop a Consider, so that's actually fine with me. Alright, Phyrexian Obliterator. We have ways that we can kind of get around the Obliterator. What I don't like, actually, is low-key, I don't like this, the life gain. That's actually kind of bugging me out. So we got triple Ledger Shredders. Of course, we're going to double Connive. This is really nice, because we get double Connive off both of these Phoenixes. Yeah, this is actually pretty good. I'm swinging in. Definitely not blocking this Death Toucher. No way. Not blocking the Phyrexian Obliterator. Absolutely no way. So I noticed they are running snow-covered swamps. I wonder what the if they're running blood on the snow. That is definitely a possibility. Yeah, definitely. I don't think I can block either one of these, which is kind of unfortunate. But we do have a little bit more removal next, or not removal, disruption. We'll call it disruption. Fading Hope is not removal. Ritual Suit. Oh goodness. Okay, so Ritual Suit doesn't end the party. Okay, well, at least we have a Fading Hope for their only creature here, and I think we're going to be able to get our Arclight Phoenixes back. So, I guess we'll just do this at sorcery speed. Let's go for Otherworld. Well, let's just go for Faithless Looting first. If we have a lot of... Ooh, another Fading Hope is going to be very, very fruitful. So let's go ahead and get rid of you and the Ox. The Ox can always come back. And... I guess we'll go for Fading Hope. Again, the second Fading Hope is very, very clutch. What I don't like is that Gray Merchant can just kind of finish us off. I don't know, I mean, do we really like any of this stuff? I was hoping to get another Arclight Phoenix, but, I mean, I guess we can't really be that stingy. We're gonna get, what, 2 back here. So I guess we go for the... Yeah, let's just do that, and I think we're just going to hold Fading Hope. There's nothing else we can really do. Fading Hope is going to be the most important thing, because if they just drop the Phyrexian Obliterator, that looks pretty good. Now, again, I really don't like that they got a lot of life gain from that little 2/3er. That kind of end up hurting us quite a bit. So we are still safe from the Gray Merchant. We are still safe. I have to be cognizant of that. So they have 6 swamps. No Gray Merchant, so that's good. Phyrexian Obliterator, I think we can kind of handle that. If they go for an... Oh, dang. Okay, so Hopeless Nightmare. This puts us in range of kill. That sucks. I don't have any life gain. I don't actually have hard counters either, so that's actually pretty yucky. Clawing Torment. So they're draining us slowly but surely. So I don't think there's anything we can really do as far as like the Gray Merchant. If they just cast the Gray Merchant, that's going to be it. So I guess we'll just go ahead and bounce you, do what we can. We lose 1 life, but like I said, it just comes down to if they have the Gray Merchant or not. Another Arclight Phoenix, I think that's probably just the way to go. We do have the Ox. I'm trying to think here. If we do 5 in the air... let's just drop the Arclight Phoenix, right? I mean, if we go for Ox, we do put it back into the graveyard, but I can't get the Arclight Phoenix back, so whatever. I think it just comes down to, do you have the, yeah, it's pretty much just, do you have the Gray Merchant or not? So here's the game here. No Gray Merchant, and we're good. Oh, no, there it is. Well, GG's. Kane, so how you doing here? Okay, so Kane, you're number 49 on the ladder. That is mighty mighty intimidating. So Amori the Collector. Such tells me you're pretty much going all creatures. Okay, human. So Kane, 49th overall. Humans on the draw. I'm a little intimidated, but let's see what we can do here. Let's go for the Dragon Race Channeler. And as long as you have, yeah, Dragon Race Channeler, so freaking good, man. Definitely are going to set up turn 2. I already know I'm going to go for another Dragon Race Channeler, and then we'll either go for the Gaze or the Consider, depending on what they got here. Ooh, that is nice. I mean, they don't really have anything to play by turn 2, and this is presumably a creature deck, so okay. I mean, I'm no complaints here. And again, they can't really have anything else because these are Secluded Courtyards and Cavern of Souls. So we could have gone for a Dragon's Race Channeler and gone for Otherworldly Gaze to kind of get more damage off. But again, I don't think we have to worry about too much about that. I think let's just take our sweet time here. Reflector Mage, that actually is pretty gross. Well, before they bounce this, let's go ahead and just use as much surveilling as we can. So I guess we'll just go for the Consider. I guess we could go for Otherworldly Gaze to kind of dump off, but let's do this. Land. I don't really want any land, so surveil that away. Unholy Heat. I think with Unholy Heat, we can grab this for the Reflector Mage. It shouldn't be that hard with the Otherworldly Gaze, so I guess we'll just kind of keep that. The only problem is now we can't cast the Channeler again, so that kind of sucks. Let's do this, and I guess we'll just go for the Otherworldly Gaze. We do get some serious surveil power, so hopefully we can kind of get up to the Unholy Heat. I think so I have a land, an instant, and so I need a sorcery and a creature. So, okay, so there's our creature. So we don't have the sorcery. That's fine, as long as we get the Arclight Phoenixes into the graveyard. That's kind of more so what I'm after here. Can't go for that Dragon Race's Channeler, so that is kind of the brutal thing. I guess we might as well just go for the Otherworldly Gaze. Let's do it before, because I mean, I'm looking to tap out here. Man, Fading Hope is pretty decent-ish, but I guess we're just going to say no on that. And I'm just kind of searching for a sorcery here. I do kind of like the Otawara, but again, I think we're just going to go like this. If we can't get into the 3-1, and we're just going to have to like sit here like a lame duck, I think that's just going to be the way we have to do this. Another Reflector Mage. Okie dokie. Okay. That really does hurt. That hurts pretty bad. Okay, I don't think it's that big of a deal here. Alright, so 16 to 19. Got the Fading Hope. How can we kind of speed up the game here? I mean, we definitely have enough. If we go for Finale of Promise, the Finale of Promise really is an Arclight Phoenix enabler, so that is kind of really, really nice. Okay. Definitely don't want to keep them waiting too long. It's not really good for content's sake either. So let's go for Finale of Promise. I guess we'll hit a Consider. And we are technically casting 2 this way. So Finale of Promise into a Consider. And then we'll go for Fading Hope. And we will get the Arclight Phoenix. So, alright, so consider the following. And I guess we'll get rid of the Steam. I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll keep it. And let's just go for Unholy Heat. I guess Unholy Heat is better than Fading Hope, presumably. So we'll go ahead and do that. Yeah, this looks good. And we get our Arclight Phoenix back. Okay, I think this is pretty good. If they have a more Reflector Mage nonsense, I think we're still looking pretty okay. Sure. Do 6 damage? Okay. I think we're mowing along just fine. This has to be like an all-creature deck here, so I don't know. I feel like we're like relatively in good shape. What kind of Adeline? Yeah, I mean, it's not great, but as long as we have like Fading Hope, we can kind of maintain tempo here. Thalia. Again, that hurts the Fading Hope a little bit, but not too bad. 2-2, okay. Not that bad. I still think we're looking okay. Finale of Promise. As long as we can just kind of bounce the Adeline, whatever. So we do have lethal in 2 turns in the air as well. I guess we'll, I mean... I guess we'll just swing in. And then we can also go for Arclight Phoenix on the back end. We can just like hardcast the Phoenix. That kind of works. I guess we'll just go for Dragon Rage's Channeler. I don't really think I have to go for Nelly of Promise or anything like that. We'll play down the Steam Vents and just go for Fading Hope. There's a good chance that the Dragon's Rage Channeler can be a 3-1. So as long as we get 2 attackers in the air and we have an Arclight Phoenix in our hand, I don't know. I just feel like we're in relatively good shape. The Fading Hope can kind of bounce the Adeline for some added support. Inquisitor Captain. I remember this card back. This was like the original Alchemy when this thing first dropped. It was like what, the Alrund's Epiphany. This is the Inquisitor Captain. That's the kind of era I remember. If you remember, if you know, you know. And a Sentinel, that feels pretty underwhelming. I mean, it doesn't go on the stack, so I don't get the Fading Hope. I am going to give them a card, but like before they attack, let's just go for the Fading Hope and just kind of hit the Adeline, and we take it.